Hold on. Damn it. Technical issues.
Relatable.
Whoa. Stand by. Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jerry Conway, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm here for Peter.
Oh, it's going to get hairy this week, kids.
Show yourself out immediately.
Welcome back, kids, to another episode of the Ultimate Spider-Cast. I have Phil joining me, as always, that predator of the night. It is
The internet's favorite premature grandma, Lilith Hellfire.
ripping up men in the middle of the night. It is. But no, Lilith, this will be your return episode, so welcome back.
It's like almost like I didn't go anywhere.
Hear how refreshed she sounds?
After being hungover, yeah.
Vacation. Refreshing. All right, kids. So yes, we're gonna be starting our I threatened this for years now. But...
Literally almost a decade, Phil.
What do you mean a decade? Probably at least since we started this show. Like. It's probably been like 4 or 5 years.
No, I think you threatened it back on Comic Capers, bro.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you did.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, we screwed
that. That's Spider-Man. Where else there?
We finally ran out of content, kids.
That's not true.
And we decided to do this instead.
We're running out of Spider-Man content when we start doing Brand New Day.
Never. I think that's the number one rule. It's like we're gonna do everything around it except for Brand New Day. Or if you're gonna do Brand New Day, the Bad Babysitters Club can do that. I refuse.
Lilith is like, she's like, I'll do up to one more day, and then boom, the day after.
Nothing else exists. Nothing else exists.
Or big gaping hole in our coverage here, kids.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow, who would have Brand New Day?
It's a gaping hole.
I won't go into detail there.
Know, honestly, people responsible for that should never be able to write comics again.
I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, remember when they had the
just specifically one person that's still writing Spider-Man books that's connected to it.
I
picked it to it. Suck it, Zeb Wells.
I don't know. Wasn't Dan Slott in there too? I mean,
well, when your side book's outselling the main book, I mean, you can't argue with the results, kiddo. Sorry.
He did give us sassy, superior Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That bought his goodwill with everyone in Superior Spider-Man.
Superior Doom is what I need.
Oh, we kind of got that.
Yeah, we kind of got it.
But
just not enough.
No. I mean, well, they did that thing where Doom tried to go good, but it was written by who.
Bendis.
Exactly. I kind of want like when Lex Luthor, like I need him like Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? When he's like in his little stupid suit in New 52, like that kind of Doom. That's how I kind of want him written.
I was gonna say, which suit? The stupid suit. Gotcha.
Yeah, the stupid suit. They're literally the Green Goblin suit. I mean, it's green and purple. I was just like, babes, they got that from you. Don't try to turn it around.
Oh, I thought you meant the blue one with the S on it. Okay.
No. That green and purple suit. I'm like, babes, you're wearing green and purple. You're a villain.
Well, was that an homage to the Silver Age too? I mean,
it was. It's like, no, never wear purple and green. You let people know what you're all about that way. Got to keep them guessing.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's get into this hairy situation you've put us into, Philip.
Show yourself up. All right. All right, kids. So yes, this time we're going to cover Spectacular Spider-Man number 150, a normal size 150.
Modern Comics could never.
I know.
And bro, we got Sal Buscema, so you know a right hook's coming somewhere,
Oh,
somehow.
Yeah. Think about this: a normal size Spectacular Spider-Man 150 with a big thing for a member of the Robertson family.
Oh yeah.
Jump to today, Amazing Spider-Man 31 Legacy 925. We got a $10 book for a wedding for Randy Robertson that didn't happen. Spoiler.
So embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
I know.
Look how far we've fallen, kids.
Didn't we almost have it all?
Seriously, ever since like 2004, the magic's been kind of like waning.
Oh yeah. But definitely by Brand New Day. Again, suck it, Brand New Day. All right. So, whatever happened to the days of all the text on the cover?
Well, that I could do without.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, considering that the cover's by Sal Buscema, it's like, we could do without all the extra words. Just give me a punch, and we already know. You don't even need to say it. Just give me a little right hook. We're good.
Or no words. Just put guilty on the cover or something.
Exactly. They didn't trust us though.
But then that kind of spoils what happens there. So, all right.
Better than a bait and switch with something that actually didn't happen in the comic.
Oh, that's
which
true.
this era is known for.
Mm-hmm.
Comma, Chameleon. Sorry, spoilers. We'll get there.
Spectacular Spider-Man number 150 from May 1989.
Floating heads of guilt. I mean, guilty.
Guilty. Don't worry, we mentioned the floating heads of guilt. All right. So if you didn't pick up by now, yes, writer Jerry Conway.
That lover of bridges and blondes.
Oh, burn.
This is Jerry Conway, and you're listening to the
And I killed Gwen Stacy
podcast.
I killed Gwen Stacy, and all I got was his t-shirt. Penciler and inker Sal Buscema.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody getting his shekel. Colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editor Jim Salicrup. The accessory to murder trial of Joe Robertson has come to an end, and the verdict is guilty.
Well, he's a black man. What'd you expect?
Oh, burn!
Are you kidding me?
That's true.
And Nocenti will stand with me on this point. Okay.
Joe's guilty. I mean, Joe's black.
To be fair, he really is kind of sort of guilty. So, like, I don't feel bad.
Well, yeah. I mean, he did what they said or didn't do. Yeah. This comes as a shock to the shock of everyone in the courtroom. The judge explains that Joe is guilty as he did not report a murder committed by Tombstone, and Ray just put his head up, 2 decades earlier.
The hair on the back of his neck just stood up.
Somewhere on the bottom of the planet, Ray went, what? Ray dropped his photo and quit playing Marvel Snap and went, what? Did someone mention Tombstone? The judge decides to speed up sentencing to the following morning, despite protests from Joe's lawyer.
Judge is crooked.
In the viewing audience, in the viewing audience are all of Joe's friends and colleagues, including Peter Parker and his wife, Mary Jane.
Wife?
Yeah, wife, you effing Mephisto.
You're extra bitter and salty and petty on your Saturday morning show.
I know, Joe Fisto. Mary Jane can't understand how Joe could have been found guilty. Peter explains.
He's like, listen, baby, let me mansplain to you.
Oh! No, it's like, oh, Mary Jane, I'm glad you asked that question in case this is someone's first issue. Yes. Peter explains that 20 years earlier, Robertson witnessed Tombstone kill a man and was forced to keep silent. However, when Tombstone came to New York City, Joe was compelled to write the to report the crime after Tombstone nearly crippled him and threatened his family.
He
Which
just wanted to make salsa.
I know, which we did cover. Scroll way down. He gave him the old Bane treatment. Scroll down.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately, Spider-Man defeated Tombstone and turned him over to the authorities. As Joe is being put in handcuffs, his wife Martha breaks down, unable to accept the fact that Joe is going to jail. This heartbreaking scene is photographed by Nick Katzenberg, a trashy tabloid photographer recently hired by the Daily Bugle.
You only have to scroll back one issue if you want to catch up on that. Well, for Web of Spider-Man anyway.
Oh.
50.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got to cover that one day.
Yeah. Anytime I can go Katzenberg, I'm down.
This angers Randy Robertson. And the two almost come to blows had Peter not gotten between the pair. However, the struggle leads to Katzenberg's camera getting smashed on the ground. Before the situation can escalate any further, the judge orders the courtroom cleared.
Order in the court.
Have a cheeseburger?
Let me get a pepperoni mushroom pizza.
That Lilith always asking for the pepperoni.
Oh, I forgot to recommend Mutant Mayhem to Rob. The last time I talked to him. I think he'd like it.
Yeah. Wait, you'll recommend it, but you won't review it. Oh,
we can review it. I don't care. I don't think it's going to be too many clicks and views. It was for a very, very young audience.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
That was funny. Next time I saw my mom,
they're going to spoilers. They're going to high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So funny. Next time I saw my mom, she said to Lucas, she goes, "Oh, did you have to be Lilith?"
So cute.
Outside the courthouse, Katzenberg tries to continue his conflict with Peter. When Peter...
Conflict with Peter. Relatable content.
I was going to say, isn't that the name of Lilith Hellfire's autobiography? Katzenberg tries to continue the conflict with Peter when Peter calls out Katzenberg for its unethical journalism.
Babe, people in glass houses can't throw stones.
Oh, yeah? You made your career photographing yourself,
and they're not even good photos.
Oh, it moves.
He's not a good photographer.
Oh, Spider-Man moves too fast. That's why I can't get good photos.
It's like, how about you get a real camera instead of a snap, point and shoot? Let's get a DSLR, bud. Yeah. And
we said unethical journalism, so we summoned J Jonah Jameson.
I thought you were gonna say Eddie.
J Jonah Jameson points out that Nick's photos help sell newspapers. When Peter points out that Jonah has been using Katzenberg's photos to make Spider-Man look bad, Jameson insists that he will use his paper to destroy the wall crawler's credibility and leaves with
he's got a 2-track mind. Young hot secretaries and destroying Spider-Man. My kind of
guy. He leaves with Katzenberg. Here, come in my limo, boy. You're gonna earn that new job.
I mean, I know he hates me, but damn.
I know. And this has happened before, and I always ignored it. It never blows up in my face.
It's just psychosomatic. I'll be all right. I'll just go punch a mugger.
But yeah, Katzenberg's putting out for that job, and then he feels doubly dirty when he finds out who that really is.
Could be worse. It could be the Red Skull.
Oh!
A step up, there's,
You're like 80 years old. Peter finds it strange that Jameson has set off his spider sense of late, but doesn't know why.
Again, check out Spider-Man 50.
I know. It's then that Randy and his wife Amanda. That's right, kids. He was married before. He was married to it before.
She wasn't much of a looker, no tea, no shade.
Yes, but it was controversial. It's 1989. He married a white woman, a blonde white woman. And after a while, she just disappears without a trace.
Really
I don't think we mention her at all. I'm trying to remember unless there's one quick line about a divorce or something. But yeah, it's like she.
No, yeah, they mentioned the divorce like when his and that's like probably like a decade later, right? When his daughter shows up or whatever.
It's like I think it's like around probably around 2000 or so when the first time they tried to say, oh hey, Mary Jane died in an airplane explosion, and then like Peter like loses the apartment and everything, and eventually has to move in with Randy.
Yeah.
Because they did mention something about that in the new Amazing this week.
Now that's the TV show I want. Peter Parker and Randy Robertson living together. Two swinging young singles who just widowers. It'd be like Perfect Strangers, actually. Except for they're not cousins.
They're gonna say bosom buddies.
No. Yeah, Tom Hanks. We can't talk about Tom Hanks.
I don't know, man. You can't fault Tom Hanks, man. He's probably sitting on more money.
Tom Hanks has been canceled by Gen Z, so I'm not gonna mention it. They're always canceling somebody. I'm sure they'll forget in 2 weeks.
Oh well, I guess I'll have to sleep on his large piles of cash to console himself.
No, not how large it is. He lives in Greece now. That's burning holes in pockets, man.
Oh really?
No, yeah, he's been living over there since a little bit before the pandemic.
He knew it was coming. It's conspiracy there.
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of celebrities knew something was happening.
Yeah.
If you look at the end of like 2019, the middle of 2019, people were selling like their catalogs, and it's real suspicious. That's all I'm saying.
Anyhow, but yeah, they invite Peter and Mary Jane to a get together at the Robertson home. They agree to go, but Peter tells them that he has business to conduct in the city first.
What did that seem? Top men looking into it, Phil. Top men.
Oh, the Lilith Hellfire method. Okay.
Exactly.
Lilith Hellfire is like, F you, I'm always on top. Would that seem suspicious, or just like, oh yeah, my wife could go with you. I have business in the city first.
It's like, bro, you're a shitty photographer. What do you have to conduct? It's not like you're a teacher or like in a high school or a TA in college. Like you're a poopy little photographer right now. What business could you possibly have?
I know. Is Randy just like, oh, he's going to see a hooker or something?
Exactly. He's like, oh, okay.
Returning to Manhattan, Peter changes into Spider-Man. On the rooftops of the city, he thinks how unfair it is that Joe Robertson is going to jail for not reporting a crime so long ago.
You only say that because that's your friend.
I know. Yet someone like the Kingpin is allowed to run free.
Like, babes, I leave it to Daredevil, please.
And I don't know if I'd say run free.
Jiggle free.
Oh! You're welcome, Russell. Them titties.
The teats of injustice.
Nice. But I did want to shout out. I did love Sal's art, especially here with like the snow and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He thinks about it. If Kingpin hadn't hired Tombstone, none of this would have happened. He decides to do something about the Kingpin and begins web slinging towards the mobster's office tower. What was he gonna do if he got there? Just try to beat the crap out of the Kingpin?
I mean, we know technically in canon. I mean, not this early, but Spider-Man can put a hurting on Kingpin if he wants to.
Oh yeah, he does at a certain point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, but then what's gonna happen? The headlines are.
This is the thing about Peter. He actually has some unresolved anger issues, and he can be a bit of a hothead sometimes, and this is kind of like one of those times.
I know,
but he works himself up, and he's like, "Gotta go do something." Stupid.
But then there's Spider-Man Threat or Menace headline's going to be justified. He's going to be like, "Oh, why did I do?"
It's been justified. He's a vigilante.
I know.
Causing property damage, leaving those sticky webs everywhere.
I know, but it's usually Jameson, and he's no better than a vigilante, creating scorpions and spider slayers, and
he's just like Lex Luthor. He's just trying to save us from these superheroes who have a chip on their shoulder that cause the issues that they're fighting. Like if you weren't in a costume, maybe all the crazy people wouldn't keep coming. You ever think of that? Just saying.
Otto Octavius still would have made the scene. The greatest villain ever.
Mole man would disagree. But whatever.
Oh yeah. Lilith does love a short king.
I do.
Literally, short king. Oh man.
Namor is short too, but you know, it's none of my business.
Oh. Get some wrestles there. All right, Justin going, what the F? Cock-a-doodle-doo. On the way, he hears some screams coming from the entrance to the subway. Well, it is New York.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just somebody probably hopping the.
It's a night in New York. I mean, come on. Going to
It could
invest.
be worse. You could be hearing it from the inner sanctum.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Wow, you're hearing noise, but it's not screams from the inner sanctum. The sanctum sanctorum. Going to investigate, the wall crawler is horrified to see a bunch of mobsters that have been slaughtered by what appears to be a werewolf.
We got ourselves some supernatural activity.
And again, I mentioned this before, but this always gets me. I mean, he's already met how many aliens and mutants, but it's like, but the supernatural like blows his mind. It's always like,
Wait, well, technically, Morbius the Living Vampire is more of a scientific thing. He's not supernatural.
Yeah, but aren't as we discover, aren't these werewolves kind of more scientific? Aren't they mutants or something? It's like, I'm trying to remember. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Next episode.
It's a bit. It's a throw too far. I get it. No, it really is.
And again, I'm sure there's a Marvel or a team up somewhere where he did meet. I believe he did meet Werewolf by Night. So it's like this ain't the first werewolf he's encountered either.
But maybe he thought he was the only one.
I think the supernatural just freaks him out. Because like even like the caption boxes.
Yeah, because what can you really do?
Yeah, because even the caption boxes, like, Conway kind of hints. He's like, yeah, he's really not even over. Inferno was 2 seconds ago. And
well, he goes to that to making a deal with the devil. So, whatever.
I know.
Still bitter.
Oh, you're bitter.
You're bitter and petty. I'm bitter.
I know. No sooner does Spider-Man see this monstrosity, it disappears.
Yay.
Okay. You've been to New York. I haven't. I mean, no matter how bad it's snowing and stuff, I mean, is the subway ever that deserted? Because it seems like the only people there were like Kingpin's men.
I mean, it depends on what line you're at.
Okay.
Honestly. Like, if you're like in the main hub in Manhattan, probably not.
I mean,
unless you're like cleaning.
Or unless people like just went running away when they saw the werewolf coming.
Which, I don't know, because New Yorkers are kind of oblivious. Like they mind their business so hard that they come off a little oblivious.
Yeah, but I mean, can New Yorkers be that oblivious if they're getting
not Marvel's New Yorkers?
I mean, if they're getting shot at, if they're getting hit with like people's blood in the face, I mean, are they?
Yeah, that might cause a little bit of a panic to run away.
Oh no, a homeless guy. You see a werewolf, like, oh no, a homeless guy.
Basically.
But yeah, they're getting hit by blood.
Not in
No.
the face.
Investigating the carnal house below, the wall crawler discovers that one of the mobsters is clinging to life. Swinging the man to a nearby hospital, he learns that these mobsters were set upon and attacked. No shoot. Discovering that they were in the
shit.
Exactly. Discovering that they were in the employ of the Kingpin, Spider-Man assures the gored mobster that he will let the Kingpin know what happened. See, Peter, this is better than just going there and punching him in the face. Now
you're
justified. Meanwhile, the werewolf is making its way across the city.
Making my way downtown, rocking fast and slow down.
It ends up climbing in the apartment of Glory Grant.
Yay! Rip her to shreds.
Oh, damn. Watching from her car outside.
And also, Joel Mercado. Get her too.
I was going to say. Her car is Joy Mercado, who has been following up on the Lobo Brothers for the Daily Bugle. Seeing the werewolf creature climb into Glory's window, Joy wonders what Glory has been getting herself into.
She's like, ooh, kinky.
She wonders what.
That's a furry fetish.
She wonders what Glory's been getting into, or what's been getting into Glory.
Glory's hole, if you will.
Oh, nice!
these nuts, these jokes could be perfect advertising for your product.
Let's. I know. Can you imagine those commercials? Oh, let's take a quick break here.
Bro, you should like just take that clip and like tag them. Boy, do we have the show for you.
Let's take a refreshing break and talk about these nuts. At that moment in Jackson Heights, the Robertsons are entertaining guests who have come to show their condolences for Joe's arrest. Among them are Daily Bugle staffers Kate Cushing, Lance Bannon, and Ben Urich. Kate and Lance are surprised that J Jonah Jameson isn't attending. However, they note that Jameson has been acting strangely of late.
He's supposed to be a chameleon. He's supposed to blend in, but he's standing out.
Well, still, I mean, again, people are thinking, oh, he's acting a little strange. But again, I think they're just like, okay, this isn't outside of the realm of Jonah on a bad day.
True. Or even a good day, let's be real.
Yeah, again, it's like, yeah, he's a dick on the best day. So, yeah, I'm like... In the kitchen, Mary Jane and Amanda Robertson watch as Martha collapses in grief.
Oh, why'd you say that name?
What?
Martha.
I know. Watching Martha come apart, Mary Jane wonders what she would do if she ever lost Peter.
Well, you'll find out in about a decade. Don't worry about it.
Oh, burn.
And then it'll happen again and again.
I know Lilith is inconsolable when she loses Peter.
No, not really. It's real easy to move on from that.
Oh, she's like, there's always another one around the corner.
It's like a bus every 10 minutes.
Hey,
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so.
I was gonna say 10 minutes, but yeah, she likes those young ones. Okay.
Feels like I can't relate.
No, come on. I was gonna say, at least give the poor bastards 15. Come on.
Lubricated eels are the best.
While in jail in a Philadelphia prison, born and raised, Joe Robertson
Was he on a playground where he spent most of his days?
Chilling out. Joe Robertson thinks about how this ordeal is affecting his family. He feels bad for his wife, Martha, who has been suffering due to his poor decisions. His thoughts are interrupted when another prisoner...
I feel like my name should be Tony Stark.
See, it's like he was working for the captain of Bad Life Decision, so it's like, his didn't seem so bad in retrospect.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's like when you boil in a frog. You just start slow and they don't notice.
That's true. But his thoughts are interrupted when another prisoner approaches his cell to give Joe a message from the man, telling him to stay well and leaves before he can explain the cryptic message. I figured Joe got the message. He didn't know who he was talking about. And afraid lost interest. It's Tombstone. At that moment, Spider-Man pays a visit to the Kingpin in his office. The crime boss is uninterested in having a one-on-one with the wall crawler and tells him to leave.
He's like, you need to leave.
Get your feet off my desk. However, he is surprised to learn that someone has been targeting his men. Spider-Man is amused to...
Yeah, 145, I guess.
Yeah, scroll down.
Or 143, technically, right?
Again, scroll down to, when we covered the whole Tombstone stuff. And yes, remember we get the kid, brainwashed Punisher sent after the Lobo Brothers. Yeah, it's there, kids. Scroll down.
Frank.
Maybe I have to put a link in the show notes, but I can even link to that video on YouTube. So,
well, not for too much longer.
No, but Spider-Man is amused to discover that someone is keeping what?
I'm just kidding.
Spider-Man is amused to discover that someone is keeping secrets from the Kingpin. After he leaves, the Kingpin is furious and calls the Arranger, demanding to see him immediately.
That sounds like a bad Fox show from the mid-2000s.
Oh my god! Well, now we see why later on he gets killed by Night and Fog because Kingpin's had enough of his crap.
Exactly.
It's so funny when Spider-Man swings away. He's all happy with himself. He's like, you're That tower don't seem so secure now, does it, Kingpin? Because we know there's only one man that can keep secrets from you. He's like, the only man you trusted, and now you can't trust nobody.
It's lonely at the top.
Hey-oh.
But he's just a humble spice merchant. What could have him so upset?
I know. I could
Did
see
they put tax on tea?
You could see the worry on all those chins, you know? But we didn't mention the floating heads of guilt because, you know, when he hears the scream, Spider-Man's like, I better stop swinging to the Kingpins.
Just in case.
I learned my lesson because, you know, Uncle Ben.
Exactly.
Oh, what's a big anniversary issue, Lilith? It's 150. We have to mention that. You're lucky we didn't get like a 2-page, you know, flashback while he's swinging to the ground.
You know what? I'll take it where I can get it. Yeah. You're welcome.
Hey-oh! That's what I hear. That's what I hear, young Mexican boys. I hear.
Lubricated eels are the best.
The following morning, Glory Grant wakes up to find Eduardo Lobo naked and bleeding on her floor. What is this, a night after Lilith Hellfire?
Come on. Relatable content for me.
Lil finds that body naked and bleeding on the floor. Damn, I hear they'd stop drinking. He apologizes, this does sound like Lil's house, because he had no idea where to go and is about to leave. Glory insists that he stay so she can treat his wounds. Well, I got a big one right here.
Got a little poison in it.
Need to suck out that venom, please. Oh God, we're children.
Suck.
He explains how he and his brother are in the middle of a war with the Kingpin and his men. He tells her that he needs her help, but he does, asking her to obtain all of the Daily Bugle's files on the Kingpin. Glory resists this at first, but gives in when Eduardo tells Glory that he loves her.
Boo!
Oh, and as we see,
You're stupid.
And we see that towel drop. We see how he tells her he loves her.
Stupid girl.
Stupid girl. While in Philadelphia, Joe Robertson is once more in court to face sentencing. The judge harshly reprimands Joe for his failure to report a crime, particularly given his responsibilities as a newspaper reporter. As such, the judge sentences Robertson to 36 months in prison.
That's 3 years.
All right, let's see if Lil Hellfire can get through this with a straight face. The stiff sentence comes as a shock to everyone.
The penal system's unfair, I tell you.
And Joe is then let out of the courtroom by guards. Joe is taken to Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary. After being processed, Robertson is taken to his cell to begin his sentence. It's there that he discovers, much to his horror, that the man in the cell next to him is Tombstone. The killer tells Joe that he pulled a few strings to make sure they were incarcerated together, telling Robertson that friends should look out for each other.
If I was Randy, you know what I'd say? I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me!
Tombstone's like, don't worry, buddy. I'll be there for you. If you drop the soap, don't worry.
Talk about stand by your man. Jeez.
But yeah, the whole Joe and Tombstone thing was detailed in Spectacular Spider-Man 139 through 142. Yeah, and like All right, next part. Web of Spider-Man, number 51 from June 1989. Oh, for a whole $1.
It wasn't worth it. No offense, Bagley, but the story.
Hey, man.
It's the Lobos Brothers. It should be like 45 cents at most.
Listen to this, Little Hellfire. This issue for $1 or the current stuff for $3.99 or more.
Ooh, I mean, just for inflation, it's about the same pain. If we're gonna be honest.
How dare you compare this issue to Zeb Wells? How dare you?
Talking more Dan Slott, but you know. He's like, fair enough, fair enough.
Dan Dirty Slot. All right. The crime
barn door protocol, kids.
Whoop. The crime lord of New York, writer Jerry Conway, once again.
Lover of bridges and blondes.
Hey-oh. That's not how it sounds, kids. Penciler, my favorite, Mr. Mark Bagley. Inker Keith Williams, colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editors Jim Salicrup and Glenn Herdling.
With cover art by Alex Saviuk and Frank Giacoa.
Alex Saviuk. I know that. Again, we got someone's attention.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
The Chameleon has gathered the directors of the Magia to express his bid.
The Chameleon.
The Magia-eon? The Chameleon. Okay. Yes, has gathered the directors of the Magia to express his bid to become the next crime lord of New York City. He explains that with the looming gang war between the Kingpin and the Lobo Brothers has given him the opportunity to swoop in and take control of the power vacuum. Never mind. I'm not going to make a comment about a power vacuum. All right.
Suck.
It's on Lil's hard drive. That's all I'll say.
Suck. Ask you a question.
What?
Should we really consider the Chameleon a supervillain? I feel like he's low-rate cannon fodder, if I'm being honest.
I mean,
comparatively, like in the vein of like Red Skull and all that, I feel like he's cannon fodder.
I guess, but it's it's just like he's a chaos maker, and
get to be an adversary of Spider-Man anyway. Like I've just literally never understood it.
I think it's just the luck of the draw because he was an amazing #1.
I guess.
He's the actual first quote unquote villain he faced.
Yeah, I know, but like not a villain.
Like, I know.
Like the Vulture is more of a villain than the Chameleon for me. Like I feel like the Vulture's more capable than the Chameleon. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know if I'm crazy.
I mean, I think it's just a holdover from like the 60s and earlier when like they made these guys face a lot of spies, commie spies and stuff. Commies or Nazis or whatever.
Fair enough, but honestly, it's 1989. We're post Cold War, but not really. So I guess I get it.
And again, they're really not even playing up the Russian angle here. It's basically just like, and again,
just a crime lord.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically in Tombstone category at this point. It's just like, I want to be the crime lord of New York. I want to take down the Kingpin. He's basically the owl.
Tombstone is actually more capable and more menacing than the Chameleon, if we're gonna be honest. I will give Ray that. That's just a thought I had.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like an owl territory. He wants to be a crime lord.
Okay.
After proving his credentials, the Magia bosses accept the Chameleon's plans and give him their support. After leaving the meeting, the Chameleon is happy with how his plans are coming along. Shapeshifting into the form of J Jonah Jameson, the Chameleon waits for a limo to pick him up. Meanwhile, Spider-Man arrives at a local bus station where a number of the Kingpin's men are flanked out.
Not even the train. They're taking Greyhound, bud.
So they not like they can hit the boss up for money. Well,
you're supposed all the henchman money and good healthcare. You're supposed to be saving up for a tough time like this.
I know. They tell him that they are getting out of town because of the wolves. Spider-Man wouldn't have believed them if not for his recent run-in with a werewolf the night before. See, a few minutes ago. He isn't sure what is going on, but the prospect of a gang war involving werewolves is going to wreak havoc on the city. The wall crawler returns to his Aunt May's home in Queens, finding it strange to be living here again after being on his own for so many years.
Exactly.
What?
They got evicted.
I know, yeah. Damn, why did Mary Jane have to be so sexy? But once again, if you're going to use Aunt May, keep the old bag her around, and like at least they're doing something. It's like, oh yeah, they both him and the wife had to move in with her and stuff, and
because Anna wasn't having it.
To read that new issue, she's nuts.
Well, we already knew that.
Well, yeah.
That's just confirmation.
Well, I know. Slipping into the bedroom, pale, Peter changes into a bathroom and heads to the bathroom. There he hears the sound of someone throwing up. He's surprised when it turns out to be Mary Jane's cousin Christy. Talk
about a cousin Oliver. Jeez Louise. Like
guys,
them trying to like give them like a kid without the consequences, you know?
Exactly.
It just didn't work.
A teenage kid, yeah. Guys, can you hear that? You literally hear Lilith Hellfire's interest drop. Mary Jane's cousin Christy.
Yep.
When Peter asks if she has food poisoning, Christy goes along with it. However, Peter doesn't buy it and wonders what is going on with Mary Jane's cousin and wishes her parents would come back from Europe soon.
Don't worry, we'll deal with this in 2 more issues in a terrible, terrible fashion. God, her parents are just inept.
You know, it'd be so funny if she were like, oh yeah, I got so bad food poisoning.
I mean, Aunt May was an old lady. Like, you know, the wheat pancakes don't settle good for everybody.
Oh my God, my grandma can set off a smoke alarm. Meanwhile, at the apartment of J Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle publisher is brought breakfast by the Chameleon. As he spoon feeds Jameson, he tells the publisher that he is using his position to gather intelligence and maintain focus on Wilson Fisk so that his activities go unnoticed. When Jonah lashes out, vowing that his friends will stop him, the Chameleon smirks. Resuming his disguise, the Chameleon tells Jameson that nobody will rescue him because he has no friends. Burn! Burn! You're an a-hole. You're an a-hole. I'm acting like an a-hole.
Noticed.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little grumpier than usual, but I mean, yeah, you're an a-hole. They think I'm acting like an a-hole. Hell, if I was nice, people would think something, you know, I was an imposter.
Exactly. I smiled once and everybody asked me what was wrong.
And I think they even say like after this whole thing wraps up that like Marla was like in Europe on some like project or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there ain't nobody looking for Jameson.
Again, it's lonely at the top.
Again, you would think you would have suspected an imposter if it was like, oh hey, Jameson paid me a lot of money for my pictures.
Yeah, here's a raise. Oh no. That's why my spider sense is going on.
Is he a Skrull? Later that morning, Peter Parker has more of his photos turned down by Kate Cushing. When Peter asks why, she explains that J. Jonah Jameson has changed the editorial policy and refuses to publish anything about Spider-Man unless they make the wall crawler look bad, like the photos taken by Nick Katzenberg.
Katzenberg!
Seeing Jonah, quote unquote, with Katzenberg triggers Peter's spider sense, making him wonder why Jameson would kick it off. Oh boy, I wonder why. Again, listen to that thing once in a while.
It's ting ting tingaloo, ting ting tingaloo.
It's getting the Peter tingle.
Oh no.
Jonah, quote unquote, goes to Glory Grant's desk to find Joy Mercado standing in for her so she can take
a room full of concentrated evil. You got Katzenberg, you got Glory Grant, and you got Joy Mercado. Jeez freaking Louise. That's the trifecta of terror.
Because Glory's having a nooner, so she had to take an early lunch.
As you do.
Oh yeah, boss. She's out with her new boyfriend.
Wild like an animal.
I heard they were howling at the moon last night.
Hey, oh. She was taming that hairy beast. Is that what you're saying, Lil?
Yeah.
When Jameson asks for the file the Bugle has on the Kingpin, Joy discovers that the file is missing. This is a setback to the Chameleon's plans, leaving him to wonder who took the files. Down in the lobby of the Bugle building, Glory is handing over the file to Eduardo Lobo. She tells Eduardo that she could get in trouble, but he assures her that it will remain their secret. Glory kisses him, unaware that Lobo intends to dispose of her once he has finished going through the files on the Kingpin. Just like a man, huh? Just like a man or Lilith Hellfire. Once they get what they want, they're through with you.
stupid girl. I mean, why didn't she just Xerox it and put it back? Like, I don't understand.
I know. And again, why didn't the Chameleon do that? Go in as Jameson for 5 minutes, photocopy the damn thing, and then you're done.
Like, it's such a long count that didn't need to be this long.
He spent at least days as Jameson. I'm like, why?
Well, maybe he likes getting picked up by limos. I don't know.
Or maybe he's spending Jameson's money. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe Glory was she knew Eduardo was just using her, but she was getting that hot.
That wild man love. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. When Peter Parker comes out of the elevator, he sees the couple kissing and decides not to interrupt. He just likes to watch.
The neighborhood peeping Tom.
Peeping Peter.
Yeah.
As he passes by, his spider sense goes off again, leaving Parker to wonder if he's been working too hard recently.
Definitely not your brain working too hard, huh?
Oh.
This is one of those times where Peter's just an absolute idiot.
You know what? It never works out when you let Peter think for you.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Soon, Peter meets up with Mary Jane to check out an apartment in the Upper East Side. Peter's concerned that this part of town is too expensive. Mary Jane assures him that her friend Regina said the apartment is rent controlled and they can afford it. However,
she's got a sugar daddy named Bruce. Whatever. None of my business.
Ray, it wasn't me.
Batman, my favorite character.
The chance is never zero, so he should be comfortable with that by now.
Yes, you should be comfortable with us jamming that up your ass every episode, right? However, when they actually see the place, they discover that it is incredibly small. Don't you hate that, Lilith? Someone talks it up.
She is.
Someone talks it up, and then it's incredibly small.
Well, the best way to even squash all that is what you do is you get a tape measure by your door. You set it to 6'2", but you tell them that it's actually 6 foot, so you can see if they're lying about their height or not. And that way, even if they are 6 foot, you can still gaslight them. Just saying. Unethical life pro tips with Lilith Hellfire.
You got to be at least 6 and 6 for Lilith. Come on.
Well, that's awfully generous, Phil.
I said at least. That's the lowest bar on both sides. Mary Jane is furious that her friend would suggest a bachelor apartment for them. Yeah, it's basically like one room and a bathroom.
It's like, does it have a skylight? I can work with it if it has a skylight.
Hey, well. Mary Jane is furious that her friend would suggest the bachelor apartment for them. Peter tries to calm her down, but Mary Jane is still upset that they have been evicted by Jonathan Caesar and her money's caught up in the courts for the foreseeable future. She is so angry that she throws her portfolio book on the ground, scattering her pictures to the wind. Peter makes a joke about how it is free publicity, and his wife can't help but laugh. He assures her that they'll work things out and kisses her. They then go to Midtown General Hospital to visit Mary Jane's friend Lorraine Mandel. Oh, we're getting to this.
Can you tell this is the after school special freaking season? Like first we got bulimia, now we've got drug use.
Oh,
and that's from like what? Web of Spider-Man 49?
49. We're gonna cover that someday. We might have to do a double header 49 and 50. Oh yeah. It comes down to like Peter just becomes Spider-Man and just like starts tormenting her dealer. It's so funny. Yeah. Like he webs into a light post and just like spins him around and yeah, we have to do that. Mary Jane feels responsible for Lorraine's recovery because she helped Mary Jane get into the modeling industry.
I'm just saying, birds of a feather flock together. Mary Jane likes to party all the time. I'm just saying, my headcanon might not be too far off. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the 70s, I'm sure.
Everyone loves cocaine.
Peter tells her to slow down, reminding her that someone has to want to kick their addictions, having learned a valuable lesson years earlier when Harry Osborn was struggling with his own drug problems.
Amazing Spider-Man 96.
Boy.
Through, I don't know what, 99 or 98, something like that.
Boy.
That's a terrible arc.
Boy, Christy, Harry Osborn, we're hitting all the little high points here.
I know. Thanks a lot, Phil.
Right, it's the 90s. Come on.
Werewolves will bring up such post-traumatic stress for me.
Still, Mary Jane wants to try to help, leaving Peter to wonder if she is diving into this because of her father's struggle with alcoholism.
Damn it.
There's your trifecta.
Nathan Spider-Man 259. Damn you.
We already covered that, didn't we? So
yeah.
You're safe
You're
there.
gonna have to scroll way down for that one, though, I think.
Yeah, that's when we did the black suit stuff.
Yeah.
When they visit Lorraine, she is unhappy to see them as she is going through withdrawal. Mary Jane tells Lorraine that she can't help her unless she wants to. Soon, Lorraine's parents arrive and she freaks out, accusing Mary Jane of betraying her. This hurts Mary Jane, but Lorraine's parents assure her that she is very sick and thank her for all of her help. That evening, the Arranger is in his limo, going over reports of the latest string of killings. He is starting to feel the pressure of running the Kingpin's organization while his employer is focused on his vendetta against Daredevil.
Daredevil 227 to 233, huh?
Born again, eh? Oh.
Scroll over to the W.
No, I think we did that on Comic Capers, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we probably did.
Oh, but Born Again, Lilith Hellfire, written by who?
Our good friend.
Who?
The man, the myth, the legend. I'm pretty sure we have a drop. Your mother's a whore!
I just wanted to tease it out. I could just hear Justin saying, hit the button, hit the button.
The man, the myth, the legend, the epic drop. Often imitated, but never duplicated. Nice try, Russell.
Oh, that's right. See, kids, you can't top a master like Lilith Hellfire.
Your mother's a whore! Your mother's drinks Mountain Dew! Or worse yet, your mother drinks Mellow Yellow!
Ooh!
Burn. Yeah,
No.
that's the biggest insult.
His thoughts are interrupted by something landing on the roof of the car. It's one of the Lobo brothers who has come to kill the Arranger. As the werewolf begins pulling the Arranger out of his car, the driver crashes. However, before the Lobo can harm the Arranger, Spider-Man comes to his rescue. The wall crawler is slashed by Eduardo, who warns Spider-Man to stay out of their business. Feeling that he owed a debt of honor to the hero for stopping the Punisher from killing him and his brother, but this debt has been annulled. That's when the Arranger's bodyguard pulls him out of the wreck and begins firing at the werewolf, forcing it to flee. Grateful for having his life saved, the Arranger offers Spider-Man a proposition.
A little humdinger?
Whoa! Jeez.
Just so grateful, man.
Why, thank you.
Sex on the mind.
It's you, love. Oh, we're
Sucking the life force.
Exactly.
Meanwhile,
post-nut clarity, you know what I'm saying?
Amen, sister. Meanwhile, at Long Island Estate, the Chameleon has come to visit the occupant of the house. Oh, here we go, another favorite. When the guard comes to the car to ask who has come to visit and is shocked when the Chameleon assumes his form. Killing the guard at the gate, the Chameleon uses his disguise to ambush the rest of the guards. Inside, the Chameleon takes on the form of the Kingpin and interrupts Hammerhead. I remember, oh god, this was such a classic team up. During an exercise session,
exercise session.
As he's ramming a punching bag with his head. And no, that's not
a donkey punch me now, bitch.
I was gonna say that's not a euphemism. He's literally running at a body bag with his adamantium plated head.
Trying to donkey punch me now, bitch.
Thinking this is really the Kingpin, Hammerhead charges at the intruder but misses. The Chameleon then changes form to resemble Spider-Man and continues taunting the mobster. Dodging in another attack, the Chameleon is suitably impressed with Hammerhead's abilities. Revealing his true form, he explains that he has come to seek an alliance with Hammerhead at the Magia's recommendation. The Chameleon then tells Hammerhead that he hopes that he wasn't just seeking an ally, but hopefully a friend. And they say he's just a friend.
Exactly. And they said they were roommates historically.
Oh, baby, you.
Yeah, Hammerhead definitely has what he needs.
Oh, he's just looking for some head.
Hammer it on home, Phil. Hammer it on home.
All right, wait 5 seconds to let Justin pick up some pop off the floor. Okay. All right. At Fisk Towers, the Arranger asks Spider-Man's assistance in stopping the Lobo Brothers. The wall crawler refuses to help scum like the Arranger, but finds himself in a bind when the Arranger points out the innocent lives that we put in danger by a gang war happening in the city. Okay. Okay, so Peter, you know you're going to try to stop these guys anyway. Why not take the dirty money?
With great power comes great responsibility.
I mean, I know, but again, it's not like they're asking you to kill a guy, or it's like even if the Ranger asks you to kill Lobos, doesn't mean you have to kill the Lobos.
He's a man of his word, so if he takes the money, he's got to do the thing, bro.
How many times do I have to tell you not to touch the dirty money? Don't worry, this gets better, Lil.
I know. Oh, I know.
Oh, I know. All right, any other thoughts, or should we get to Web 52 and something a little different?
Yeah, let's do Web 52.
Because there's really not a lot of Spider-Man in this at all. What do you think of that cover?
Oof.
That's so funny. Just the chameleon and changing different Jameson shaped heads.
Yeah.
The one looks like Hammerhead. All right. So Web of Spider-Man number 5. Again, we'll get back to all the Lobos and everything else next episode. But okay, this one's basically a Jonah story. All right, Web of Spider-Man number 52.
Frank Spider, where the hell is Mark Bagley?
I know. Well, I think
John Romita Jr. Senior is on this one, so
yeah. Well, Bagley was basically just like a fill-in. I think Savioke came back after that, or maybe the one after this. But yeah, it was basically just a fill-in because then Bagley just like basically comes back when it, or he might have did a fill-in on Amazing too before he became the ongoing guy.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. All right, July 1989, Chains. Oh my, no, that's Whips. All right,
Whips
writer.
and Chains excite him either way.
Him, Lilith, whatever. All right, writer Jerry Conway again. Again, it's like you kind of got like a Jerry Conway Spider-Man book like twice a month.
Yeah.
Penciler Frank Springer, inker John Romita Sr., who we just recently lost. Did you see that this week in like a lot of the Marvel books? They did like a little tribute to Romita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colorist
he
Bob.
Was 93. So.
Yeah, he lived a good long life. Yeah. Colorist Bob Sharon, letterer Rick Parker, and editors Jim Salicrup and Glenn Herdling.
Cover by Alex Soviuk and Frank Giacoa again.
Soviuk. Oh, that what?
Need that drop, Ray. Where the hell's that drop, Ray?
Yeah, Ray. Put down the Marvel Snap and let it send us a drop or two, Ray, or some feedback, Ray.
Stop making fun of Ray's addiction.
You know, it's so funny. He sent when we did that Lifeform crossover with Gamma Charge, Ray sent feedback. I don't know if he just saw that, the part 1 that we were doing on Marvel Tales, so he sent feedback for those 2 issues. Then he didn't send any for the second half. So like, you gotta listen to that episode of Gamma Charge when it goes up, because like Russell's just like, "Oh, thanks, Ray." He's like, "I know I'm crap, and you don't send me no feedback. You send them feedback, not me feedback." He just went off on Ray.
Mountain Dew makes us sensitive. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Everyone thinks Ray's their boy until he's not. A prisoner in his own home, J Jonah Jameson shouts at Spider-Man as he swings by his building. However, the wall crawler doesn't hear him. For days, Jameson has been, and that's about as much Spider-Man as we get this issue. For days, Jameson, and again, you're like, what, a Jonah story? But again, remember, kids, we were getting like 3 Spider-Man books a month at this point.
Yeah, something had to give.
Again, I mean, you could every once in a while focus on a different character.
And I like Jameson.
Yeah,
it's fun to make fun of. You know what I mean?
And again, I mean, Conway gets into like, why doesn't he trust like, certain people who claim to be heroes and stuff, and as we're about to see. All right. So, yeah, Jameson's been tied up. Was captive. The Chameleon has stolen his identity to gain information on the criminal underworld through the Daily Bugle. Jameson insists that the Chameleon can't keep up this charade forever, but the villain begs to differ. Changing his form to resemble Jonah, the Chameleon boasts that his abilities to mimic others is beyond reproach, and he has everyone fooled. To prove his point, he tosses a number of newspapers onto Jonah's lap that contains editorials written by the Chameleon. Jonah complains that he can't read the papers with both hands handcuffed to his bed. The Chameleon decides that there could be no harm in uncuffing one of Jonah's hands. However, he decides. However,
he's cannon fodder.
I know, but again, I mean, at least at this point, I don't know. I think they backtracked on this, and I don't know why. But it's like instead of wearing stupid masks, he actually had like the skin of his face altered, where he could like, I don't know, hit his belt buckle and it like would like actually shift his face, which I thought made him put him up a rung or two in the villain hierarchy. But then I swear by like the 2000s or maybe even late 90s, they went back to like he's wearing masks and stuff, which rubber masks. I'm like, come on.
I agree with that for sure. Like I said, cannon fodder.
Yeah, they kind of made him more like Clayface, and then it's like they went back to the mask thing. I'm like, oh, really?
Maybe DC sent the letter. I don't know.
Maybe. We have 5-6 Clayfaces. Don't try to copy any of them.
We even have a lady Clayface.
No, as you'll hear on We Are the Night. Oh, that's right. Justin's gonna send a
Batman podcast, and don't you forget it, Ray.
I know. I think Justin wants to send feedback. He said when we get to his favorite Clayface 3.
Batman, my favorite character.
However, he decides against it and lengthens the chain instead, just like Lilith does with her boyfriends. When Jonah asks why he is doing this, the Chameleon explains that he is using the Daily Bugle to take down the Kingpin.
Boyfriend is a strong word.
Well, friend who is is a
strong word.
I'm trying to think of a family-friendly
disposable meat.
Wow, there you go. Disposable meat. Yeah, I was gonna say, kids. She doesn't keep her dogs on chains, just the himbos. Once the Chameleon has left, Jonah uses his extra reach to try and knock over his stand-up mirror. However, he only succeeds in moving it so he can see his reflection. Seeing his face looking back at him, Jameson begins to think back to his career as a newspaper reporter. J. Jonah Jameson was
back
20
in the 1940s. See?
Oh my god! If this had been like a current modern day story, and they tried to tell like a Jonah in the 40s story, there would have been mentions of Captain America every 2 seconds and Namor and J. Jonah Jameson was 20 years old and a reporter for the New York Herald Journal Express. Sitting at a bar with an informant named Sam, Jameson hears how Sam is proof of police corruption in the city, but won't report on it because he is afraid of his life. Sam tells Jonah that he knows this because he is a bagman for the Manfredi family and delivers bribes to local police precincts. He is about to name a well-regarded police officer when a shot is fired outside and it fatally strikes Sam. Shocked by this scene, J. Jonah Jameson looks out the shattered window and sees a police officer. Realizing that the story is true, the young reporter becomes afraid. By this point in his recollection, Jonah has managed to kick the mirror, shattering it. Grabbing a piece of broken mirror, ignoring the pain when it cuts into his fingers, Jameson reflects sunlight off the mirror in the hopes of getting the attention of a passing traffic helicopter. Unfortunately, the pilot thinks the flashing light is nothing more than a prank being played by a kid. As the chopper flies by, Jonah begins cursing the pilot for not looking, and his mind drifts back in time again. It's an angry J. Jonah Jameson who bursts into the office of his editor, demanding to know why they killed his story on police corruption in the city. His editor tells Jonah that his account is missing facts and they could be looking at a libel suit. Still unhappy, Jameson insists that he will get the needed facts. Storming out of the editor's office, he is joined by Danny, the paper's copy boy. Jimmy Olsen. Danny begs Jonah to let him tag along, and thinking the kid needs to experience what being a real reporter is like, he agrees to let the boy come along. But warns him that it could get pretty rough. Just like Lilith's house. When they get outside, Jonah and Danny find a trio of cops waiting for them. They have come to warn Jonah against sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, and to prove this point, they beat him senseless. Just like at Lilith's house. As the cops leave the scene, none are aware that someone with an interest in J. Jonah Jameson has been watching the whole scene. As Danny helps Jonah get off the ground, Jameson decides that he could use a strong drink, like at Lilith's house. As they head to the nearest bar, see how many times I could use that this time. As they head to the nearest bar, the man who was watching follows after Jameson in his car. Remembering how he ignored the pain of a broken arm, Jonah considers his bleeding hand for a moment, realizing the blood could be a good lubricant. Like at Lilith's house, he begins trying to pull his hand free from the shackle. As he strains, he tries to ignore the pain. Yeah, but I want to say, yeah, but he wasn't an old man then. He is now. Jonah's at the bar nursing a drink with Danny when they are joined by William Walter Goodman, the owner of the Daily Bugle. Goodman offers Jonah a cigar, saying that they are better for him than the cigarettes he was smoking. And there's the there's the cigars. Goodman explains that he had taken an interest in Jonah since he first started writing for the Daily Bugle and wonders why Jonah had quit. Jameson tells Goodman that he wanted to be a real reporter and the Journal Express offered him a job. Hold on. Yeah, showing Jonah the front page of the Journal Express, which features a story about Officer Kenner being hailed as a hero. Kenner was one of the cops who beat him up in the street. Jonah doesn't think Kenner is much of a hero. Goodman tells him some heroes work in the dark and reveal the truth to the public and asks him to come back to the Bugle, saying that he is a good judge of character. James,
my, how time has corrupted, eh?
Cue the Diggle cut clip. That comment did not age well.
I was just watching the first crossover, actually.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I was just in there watching some Married with Children. No, ma'am.
Our Salty and Petty episode really got the old creative juices flowing.
Well, there's a channel. There's like a channel that like plays them every weekend. I mean, it's not. And no.
Actually, did TBS used to play it like Saturday mornings? I don't know if they still do. But
I don't know. There's like a there's a cable station that's been playing it on the weekends, but it's on Hulu too.
Yeah.
I was watching the No Ma'am episode where they tie up Jerry Springer.
Oh God, no ma'am.
Every time.
Warp and Twisted, I was an 80s baby who was raised in the 90s. Al Bundy was America's dad. Homer Simpson was America's dad. That sums it up.
And every time Marcy's yelling at him, Al goes, well, you're a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that episode. Jameson, seeing the opportunity to finally publish the story he wants to tell, accepts the offer, even if it means he might get killed. Jonah manages to pull the shackles from his left hand, although the pain is excruciating. Struggling to concentrate, Jameson spots the key to the other shackle on his dresser. He reaches out for it, but it is just out of reach. Now working for the Bugle, J. Jonah Jameson continues to pursue the corruption story. Finally finds a source that was more reliable than Sam ever was. Officer Michael O'Hill. O'Hill gives him a key to a locker at the Port Authority where a ledger is kept to keep track of bribes police officers have received. The officer tells Jonah that Kenner is one of the many names on the ledger and explains that he came forward because he is ashamed of what's happening. Thanking O'Hill.
All right, Serpico.
Jonah and Danny head off to the Port Authority. However, when they arrive, Jonah spots Officer Kenner. He gives Danny the key and tells him to hide and makes a break for it himself. Wondering why Kenner is at the Port Authority, Jonah suddenly realizes that this is a trap and begins looking for Danny. He is too late to stop Danny from opening the locker with the key, setting off a bomb that was rigged inside.
Oh, Danny boy.
As the dust settles, Jonah reaches out, calling Danny's name, but Danny gives no reply. This is because Danny is dead. It's raining Danny. Hallelujah, it's a raining Danny.
Oh, no.
Jonah finally manages to get the key and unlocks his other hand. Although he is now free, the entire ordeal took too much out of Jonah. The exhaustion, pain, and blood loss all make him pass out on the side of the bed as he tries to escape, like a Lilith's house. Jameson took Danny's death hard and went on a bender, like at Lilith's house. Eventually, Walter Goodman comes to tell Jonah to clean himself up. He points out that while the deaths of Danny and Sam were because of Jonah's own fear, he shouldn't give up. that he should continue to fight, telling Jameson that the choice is his on if he should continue or give up. Pulling himself up, Jonah gathers his strength to try and make a break for it. His mind reels back to the day after Danny's death. He remembers how he went and confronted Officer Kenner and that he was going to get him for killing Danny. Kenner doesn't take these threats from Jonah very well. Kenner begins beating on Jonah, telling him that as a police officer, he could have him arrested and nobody would question it. Just like when he murdered Sam and Danny. Hearing this confession, Jonah spits in Kenner's face. When Kenner goes to attack him again, Jonah reveals that he was wearing a walkie-talkie. On the other end was Walter Goodman, who was recording their conversation at the Bugle office. I was going to say, they didn't have wires back then, did they?
A walkie-talkie, wow.
Did you hear that? Yeah, we heard.
Copy, over.
Yeah, what's that confession sound like? No, realizing that he has lost, knowing what they do to cops in prison. Kenner begs Jonah to have mercy, offering him whatever he wants. Oh Lord, this doesn't work with Jonah, as the only thing he wanted out of the story was his self-respect, and so he leaves. With his recollection over, Jonah has made his way to the elevator to his apartment. Too bad he didn't have steps. Unfortunately, when the door opens, he finds the Chameleon inside. The villain had come back because he forgot his briefcase. In response to his escape attempt, the Chameleon has Jameson stripped down to his underwear and shackled up in his closet, like at Lilith's house.
Bring out the guilt!
Oh my God. I think the wrong person said this quote.
Oh, I'm going to wear a gimp mask and murder people.
Yeah, the wrong person. Even though Jameson has been locked away, he ignores these seemingly futile details, as he is more determined than ever to break free. But yes, that flashback was from the 40s, but again, sliding time.
So if it was told today, it'd be what
It says 40 years previously, so it'd be the 80s.
Oh God. Well, that actually makes sense for police corruption.
Yeah.
So. Well, any decade, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah, with sliding time, it should be 40 years previous to whenever you're reading it. So yeah, this would be, oh my God,
that's like evergreen content, honestly. Sadly,
1983.
Ooh.
Should have been like, yes, they're corrupt, not like those cops on Hill Street Blues.
Even they were a little corrupt. You gotta take it to SVU. Even though low key, the first season, some of those cops were kind of shady.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. All right, thoughts, Lilith?
No, I mean, it was nice having a Jonah flashback. Like, it was so unexpected.
I know.
Just like, okay, we're doing this. That's cool. I mean, that is the beauty and the tragedy of having 3 books, I guess. 3 or more books in modern times, should I say? And again,
even as much as you poo-pooed over 51, I mean, tell me a modern comic that could fit all that story in the one issue.
They couldn't.
I mean, you had the Lobo Brothers, you had Peter's personal life, including.
They wouldn't want to.
I know, but the Christy, Lorraine, you had all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was told well because it was Conway.
Exactly. Like I said, the structure has changed a little bit for modern times. Although, like, allegedly the amount for like the pages that you get hasn't really gone up that much. It hasn't risen with the cost of living, so that's why I can't like really fault modern comics for dragging things out. Everything needs to be like a mini or a maxi series or writing for the trades. It's guaranteed work,
Yeah.
And at the same time, at least make it interesting. Don't just make it look like an obvious cash grab, I guess.
Well, I don't think they want to play the long game anymore because
they can't because they're leaving in a year.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like I can't plot out something that's going to be longer than 6 months or a year because I probably won't be here, unless you're like 1 or 2 names. It's like, I'm not going to be here
even now. Like, let's be honest, that's a thing of the past.
I know, because
this really is.
Well, because they're writing for trades too.
Yeah, they're writing for trades, and like I said, they just want to get on a book, get some audience, and create their own thing. And I can't fault them, but like, it's getting a little formulaic and lazy. If I'm being honest, writing is getting a little lazy.
Yeah.
That's why we're going back to like those '90s miniseries from the greats, the goats.
Oh, that's the other thing I picked up today. Even though I hate the character, I picked up that Warlock Rebirth 5-issue series by Ron Mars.
Oh, well, friend to the show, one of our shows.
Yes, Ron Mars. Yes. Yeah, Will and I have talked to him 2 times. Yes. But no, well, Genusfell was in it too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
lead with the story, Phil.
but once again, it was another miniseries set in the 90s. So I was just like, you know what? I'm like, I probably.
Well, okay, how about this? Big 2. All that money that you make, why don't you just go ahead and invest in a time machine, send us all back to the 90s? I think we would all be happier.
Or just do like a giant crisis again and rewind everything to the 90s.
And everything's just perpetually stuck in the 90s. I'm fine with that at this point.
Yeah. Come on, come on. It's not even comics. How many people are pandering to the 90s kids? Come on.
Yeah.
Modern pop culture is doing
honestly, 90s, like I say 2009 was like the last original time we had. Everything else has just been chasing 2000s.
I don't even know. I think it might be before that.
No, there was still some original stuff. I feel like 2010 is the hard stop where it was just like, all right, yeah, we're not even going to be interested in any original IP doing anything new. I feel like 2010 is that hard stop.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I would say 2014 if we're going to go mainstream media with everything else, where that's like when all the real like reboots and sequels and all that started.
Yeah.
But like for comics, I'd say 2010 is probably the hard stop where they just totally stopped trying to be original.
Yeah. And again, I always try to pin it's like, oh, Brand New Day. That's when Spider-Man just like went downhill. But it's like
it's a little bit before that.
I think it's pretty much when Ben just put him on the Avengers. That's
Spider-Man on the Avengers. Yeah.
But
that's one of the cash grabbiest things to ever happen.
Oh no, really? We put Spider-Man and Wolverine on the same team? Oh, on a regular basis? Oh no, that's not a cash grab, Lilith.
That doesn't even make sense.
Why? It's not like Wolverine's everywhere and Spider-Man.
Everywhere, all at once, all the time? Yes.
That's his mutant power. You know that, right?
Exactly. It's not healing.
He's the true multiple man. Come on.
Oh, if they could give him that power, go back in hindsight, they would. Every book would have a Wolverine, bro.
I think that was his power.
One thing I don't miss about the 90s is Wolverine and Spider-Man being everywhere.
It was a formula. It was like Spider-Man was in your first or second issue, and then eventually Wolverine showed up.
Did something to piss off Wolverine, or something in his past came back to haunt him that caused him to cross paths with you. Yeah.
What were Justin and I talking about? It was like, oh, the Punisher. Oh, I think it's like, was it New Warriors and was it Darkhawk or something? But it was like both of them. Issue 9, Punisher shows up. And it's like, I'm like, it's a formula. Punisher, Frank Castle shows up by issue 9 of your book in the 90s. And then maybe you get an appearance by Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Well, no, like I said, this was an unexpected surprise. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much. But it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Again,
let's talk about new books, I guess.
All right. So where do you
want to start with Silk number 4.
Okay, I did not pick that up. So yeah, tell me about Silk.
Well, it's monsters. It's giving hentai vibes. Like the route that they've kind of gone. With Silk, like they're not like trying to like force her into the spider world, and I kind of dig that they're giving her own thing with like monsters and demons, and it's a real dark vibe,
Yeah. Oh, did you see the announcement? Not to interrupt, but I don't know if it's after the whole gang war thing that's coming up. Jessica Drew's getting her own book, her ongoing book again.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Are Ray and Siren going to pick it up again? Or?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Of course.
I can't wait for their thoughts on that.
Because I'm just like Silk. I'm like, okay, if you like her, I like her. But I'm like, oh yeah.
If they just took the spider off her chest, she could be a really cool character. Like nobody even brings up Silk in the spider world anyway. You know what I mean? She's just kind of her own thing.
Well, unless you're Slot, but yeah.
Well, dirty Slot again.
Oh, Shekel Slot, yeah.
But now it's like Emily Kim. I really like what she's doing with Silk, making her own thing, not making her dependent upon being a spider person. And like I said, it's giving anime hentai. I definitely think that some people will find this really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad she's doing her own thing, and they really have a good handle on it. So, if you're into like that anime kind of thing, I think Silk is the book for you.
Nice.
Like the art's super great, and the story is super like weird and crazy, and just kind of like sucks you in. It's really cool.
Nice. All right. Let me hear. I'll do one. I know. I'm sure you didn't read Red Goblin number 7.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And if Normie having a symbiote isn't enough, what villain are we dragging into? What villain are we dragging into this now? Crossbones.
No fucking way.
Yep.
No. Okay.
Yep. And then Normie.
Is it as bad as I think it sounds?
It's crazy.
Okay.
He's basically a wild dog attacking everybody. And then Normie and his symbiote are having issues. So who's going to help Normie? Who's going to team up with Normie? Mr. Miles Morales.
Why? That makes. Oh well, okay, I get it.
I mean, at this point, probably Red Goblin probably needs a bigger bump than Miles, but I mean,
yeah, no, I get it. Perry Spears, I get it.
Again, if Peter's not showing up, let's get Miles in here.
Damn, how far are we falling?
And again, Miles just coming off that whole Carnage crossover thing.
Yeah, that's why I say it makes sense, Perry Spears, but like, ooh, it doesn't feel good, bro.
We're gonna
bad, man. Feels bad.
We're gonna shackle him and tie Miles to this summer of symbiotes, however we can.
Yikes! I mean, just give Miles a symbiote at this point. Who cares? Who the hell cares?
Again, either do it with Miles.
Toxin? Screw it. Just Miles and Toxin together forever. I don't care.
And again, if you wanted to have that flip side of the coin, break Ben Reilly out of limbo and have him give him a symbiote, and then you can see what would happen.
There's plenty going around. If Normie can have one,
what would have how? You want to know what happened if Spider-Man had kept that symbiote? Ben Reilly, come on. Hell, that damn chasm thing looks like a symbiote anyway.
Okay, it wasn't just me. Thank you. No. Like when I saw the pursuit, I was like, are they going to do it? And they just didn't. I don't think they had the balls to do it personally. I think they wanted to, but they're like, no, we better not.
I almost bought when me and Luca went to that comic store down by Dave and Buster's today.
Yeah.
That one we went to. They had a Ben Reilly Marvel Legends figure I almost bought as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one or two over, they had Ben Reilly as Chasm. I'm like, really?
Really?
Like, don't offend me. Yeah.
You sure that wasn't a fever dream, Phil? I feel like they wouldn't in their right mind do that.
No. Oh, no. I knew before I even saw it that they had a Ben Reilly Chasm figure.
Who's that for?
I'm just like, I don't think I can even buy that to complete my Ben Reilly collection. I'm like,
it's okay. I'll buy it for you for Christmas.
I'm a number one. Oh.
If you don't want to spend your money on it, I know you have like that completionist need. So if you don't want to spend your money on it, I'll buy it.
Get Lilith Hellfire some.
Got me.
What?
Ben Reilly. So I mean, I can only return the favor and give you a chasm.
Hey-oh! There's a drop.
Don't forget his girlfriend's name.
Got her, boys. Oh, the Goblin Queen.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right, bro. But yeah, no. I'll buy you something else too, but I'll just so you can have a complete collection. It's fine.
Oh, thanks.
Gobble gobble.
Oh, you know what? Danielle's birthday. I'm sure she'd like a Ben Reilly.
Might as well just send her a Backstreet Boys.
Oh, burn.
Send her the Lance Bass solo album.
Chris Kirkpatrick is at Steel City Con this weekend. I told her. She's like, I need him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson is there this weekend.
Oh, you gotta go tomorrow. Get an autograph. I'll send you the money.
What, Tyson?
Yeah, if you mean, he's like actually really cool dude.
There was a picture. They had a picture on Facebook today. It was him standing there with Marissa Tomei.
You would be surprised how many celebrity friends they have, and everybody says he's just like the nicest guy.
Oh yeah, I hear he's nice. Yeah. Well, especially now, doesn't he do his own weed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's just kind of the figurehead. I don't think he actually owns the company. I think he's just kind of like the paid spokesperson.
I just mean, yeah, he's nicer now. Yeah.
Well, no, weed doesn't always make people nice. Look at me.
Exhibit A. No, kids. No, trust me. No, Lilith Hellfire is very nice. Unless you get on her bad side.
Exactly. So Spider-Man Annual number 1. Do you want
What?
to talk
Oh, the annual? Yeah.
about? No tea, no shade to Stephanie Phillips. We love her, but isn't it just Secret Wars?
I mean, we're basically
It's
coming
like
up.
Darkness creating a new Darkhold, but like she's pulling all of Earth's mightiest heroes to do,
Well-
to pit against you. That's a Secret War.
Well, yeah. We're basically doing the MacGuffin where people fight each other because this one was Spider-Man versus Wolverine, and then I believe it's next week.
Secret War.
Yeah, and then next week coming up already, it's going to be the Iron Man annual with Iron Man
If he
versus
comes
Hulk.
up with another goddamn symbiote, we're fighting Stephanie Phillips.
I mean, you got to be interested in the Iron Man annual, right? Captain of Bad Life Decisions versus Storm.
I know she's gonna whoop his ass.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's a mega level mutant. Like, she beat Wonder Woman, so
I know. I love how like all of these, it's big names like like Human Torch versus Ghost Rider, but it's like then it's Moon Knight versus some guy I've never heard of before. Or I'm assuming it's a guy, but it's Moon Knight versus someone I've never heard before.
Who's Moon Knight going against?
Taegukgi. Taegukgi. But everyone else,
the super strong man or whatever.
maybe I don't know, but Spider-Gwen versus
Is he
White.
new or like where did
Maybe it has to be because
I think Spider-Gwen fought this person before.
then why is it? Spider-Gwen has an annual in this, which again I find weird that she didn't have an ongoing book. But so yeah, Spider-Gwen's not fighting her. For him,
Yeah, it's a guy though. Yeah. I
Oh.
want to say it's a weird thing where he was like part of a K-pop band or something. Like that, yeah. I mean, it's relatively new too, so that's weird. But yeah, no, like he's like super strong. I think that's his main thing.
Well, whoever he is, I'm sure stay tuned for an upcoming episode of Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast for that review.
Hey, Moon Knight podcast. Don't you forget it.
You're welcome, Ray. You're welcome, Ray.
Now, where's my Alex Young fucking drop, Ray?
Oh, did you see the Venom annual, Venom versus Deadpool?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
in a cash grabby way, that makes sense.
And again, I mean, speaking of lopsided battles, Cyclops versus Captain Marvel.
Now, this is where I'm going to give it to Captain Marvel. She's going to clean his clock.
Exactly. I mean,
Scott's like, oh, you're not a redhead and you're not a telepath. No, he might whoop her ass. I don't know.
I mean, again, super strength, flight. And again, I think she still has some of that binary stuff where she can absorb energy. So it's like, what?
Oh, God, if she still has that, he's done for.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is he going to do?
Honestly, they're just like me. They just want to see Scott get his ass kicked.
I'm a Cyclops apologist sometimes, and I'm just like, no, he's going to get destroyed.
Has he ever won a fight? Can we be honest?
I'll wait. Not with a woman. I mean, Storm, Jean. No one. The White Queen, no.
So funny.
Oh, did you read Miles this week?
I did.
Number 9.
Yeah.
The Hobgoblin.
The action was cool, but yeah, that's. I mean, okay, so the visuals are super stylish, right? But the story just really isn't doing it for me. Like, there's tons of action. Like I said, that they kind of were missing the action. Now you just need to actually have a story with good plot and pacing, so it can all come together. No offense to Cody Ziegler, just saying the story's not.
And I'm trying to remember.
Well balanced for me.
I'm trying to remember. Is this a new development, or did we have this somewhere before? But like the Goblin Queen was like, or Queen Goblin had Roderick Kingsley under her control.
She's Betty Brant confirmed.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's supposed to be a clone of Kafka, but yeah.
Sure. Clone of Kafka. Sure.
Oh, that's the true Goblin Queen. Yes, Betty.
Mark my words.
That amazing 239. That was not Ned or Roderick Kingsley finding the Green Goblin stuff. It was Betty.
Just saying, it's for the taking, kids. It's for the taking. Do something with that. But no, like I said, it's okay.
What's for
it's a step up from the other Miles stuff that we had previously. I will.
Yeah.
Give that.
Yeah. He's not crossing the multiverse and stuff. Yeah.
And it's getting better with every issue. They're definitely trying to find their footing. But again, at issue 9, I'm thinking they're out by issue 13, like just as the trend has been. I hope I'm wrong and they get at least 2 years on this, because I would hate to have to start all over again with Miles.
Well, once again with all modern comics, I think the crossover kind of hurt it.
Well, of course.
Yeah, like I said, with every modern comic.
Yeah.
And speaking of the problem with modern comics, okay, then the $10 Amazing Spider-Man 31.
For no reason.
This
is why legacy numbering sucks balls.
$9.25, really? We're gonna do a $10 book every 25th issue, really?
No, we're not.
And again, if they wanted to do their little pretend thing, they could have.
Well, no, I think they're doing the test waters for a wedding issue, maybe. And I'm like, we know we can charge 9. Can we charge 20? How much was Batman's? I think it was 25.
Was it?
The wedding album? Wasn't it? The hardcover version, I think, right?
Oh, the hardcover, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Marvel, I will pay the $20 if you give me Peter and Mary Jane married again.
$24.99. I would.
Yeah. So come on, kids. But again, it's like it's supposedly a wedding, but the wedding doesn't even happen. And it's Randy Robertson. It's Randy Robertson.
Nobody can get married in comics anymore.
I know. Or either that, or if they do, one of them dies and comes back, and that kind of annuls the marriage.
Yeah. Death do us part, baby.
Yes, and it's, his fiance's bachelorette party, and then Randy has a sad bachelor party with Peter.
Yeah.
And then Felicia breaks up with Peter. He doesn't even get on my case to stop stealing anymore.
Where's the thrill if nobody's there to scold you? Am I right, Felicia?
Oh my! Where's all the fun if no one's there to spank you?
So allegedly, this is setting up the Spider event, but okay.
Which would be?
I have no idea. I don't know what Zeb's working
on. Oh, the gang war. Yeah. Oh, probably the gang war, because
it's like, yeah.
We try to.
I already have a gang war on the other side. We just got done with like 2 gang wars at Marvel, technically. So like, what are you doing, babes? Where's editorial? Editorial's head is up their ass at this point, guys. Like, it's so repetitive at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I can't deny the art. Like I said, they were kind of a genius by doing this. But
but the last one was Daredevil's gang war. This is Spider-Man's gang war.
Red and blue suit, red suit, whatever.
I know. Well, you could tell because it's like, Elektra's going to be the Daredevil in that gang war, and it's like it's not even a crossover with Matt's book at all. It's like you could,
Yeah, it's all a little suspicious.
It's just basically Peter and a bunch of mini
extended page count. Like they could have just, at least it was an extended page count.
I know, and it's not like you had to give like more pages, maybe a few to the main story, but then you get a bunch of backups.
Yeah.
Shotgun, really?
Janice. I mean, if you watch Friends, you knew it wasn't going to happen because her name's Janice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. And then, it's so funny. This text page before the Miss Marvel story, people were ripping on that on Twitter and stuff. They were just like, X. X gonna give it to you. They're like, when's the last time we had a letter column? They're like, yeah, probably because they haven't got a good letter in how long? Not since before the Miss Marvel death.
Definitely not.
So, which they've already resurrected her at the Hellfire Gala, kids. So,
boo, Hellfire Gala.
So
how dare you besmirch my good name, Marvel?
And they did. So yeah, Peter catching Kamala up on current events and then revealing he's Peter Parker.
She's like, "Oh, my Spider-Man's cooler. Miles is way cooler than you." That's what she should have said.
Does she know? Oh, I was gonna say she knows Miles' identity.
Yeah, she knows Miles.
Yeah. Okay, so now she knows all the Spider-Man. Okay.
For whatever reason.
Yes. And Marvel, it's a little too late to pander to Charlie Esser with a Doc Ock in a bar story.
No, they're officially pandering to me now.
Oh yeah. But I mean, sitting in Doc Ock sitting in a bar doing math. I mean, if this wasn't a Charlie Esser story, what was?
Yeah, touche, good sir. The only math I do is how much those drinks cost, those shots cost that guy just bought me.
Mm-hmm. But yes, the Doc Ock setting up that, oh yeah, we're doing a Superior Spider-Man one shot in October, so
Come see me then, kids. It's gonna be an October special.
Hey-o.
October special.
Yeah.
October, if you will.
Whoa. I was gonna say, you know what? Here, or we got to at least do a Capes episode. We got to do, we got to do the we have to do an episode just on that Superior Spider-Man issue. We got to dedicate that damn thing to Charlie.
Of course.
Yes.
You got it, buddy.
And then we get the Mary Jane story as she's crying over the kids that weren't real. Meanwhile, when's the last time she cried over the actual child she lost in the 90s?
Damn.
At the end of the
Bill is
Clone,
in a petty ass mood today, boys.
at the end of the Clone Saga, no, I mean the actual child she carried in her belly, and the issue after.
We don't talk about that.
I know.
Might as well name that one Bruno, because we don't talk about that.
Oh, come on. What model hasn't lost a kid? Come on.
Philip.
Sorry.
At Nightwing PDP on X.
It's Saturday Night, Lilith. But no, the whole Mary Jane thing is setting up because Felicia makes her costume so she can be Jackpot. Remember at the end of Brand New Day where they teased us with that? And they're like, nah, it's not Mary Jane. Oh, they're going with it this time, kids.
Zeb's like, you know what? We're doing it.
Seb's like, I can't make everyone hate me anymore than they already do.
Yeah, he's got a real fetish for Mary Jane, and not in a good way.
I mean,
not in a burn way. This is way more creepy.
I mean, do you think they were going to turn around that Miss Marvel death that quickly, or were they just like, no, turn it around?
No, I mean they had to. That's the only way the editorial.
I knew they were going to turn it around, but I figured they'd wait till October, November. I'm like, damn, it's been like what, a month?
I think they knew that they were going to push that movie back anyway.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the executives know a little bit more than say their.
But I think between pushing it back and then the negative backlash they got, they're like, oh.
Well, they didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 23. Of all the people you could have killed to kill the young brown girl who just had her own TV show that's in an upcoming movie.
Yep.
But again, like I said, there have been a lot of misfires at Disney and Marvel specifically in executorial leadership. So, yeah.
Oh, then we get a Jessica Drew story.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yes.
I'm glad she's getting her ongoing book again.
Yeah.
I was really I thought it was really messed up that they took it away from her in the first place.
So I don't know if they're doing the Gang War miniseries and then an ongoing, or if they're just making that miniseries the first couple issues of her ongoing.
Well, I guess you could ask Ray. He probably would know better than
That's true. But either way, she is getting an ongoing, kids. Okay, Slot's been listening to our podcast because how does he start
a lot of Marvel people have been listening to our podcast.
How does he start that story in Lilith? Cock-a-doodle-doo.
You're immortalized, Justin.
Justin, you're in a Marvel comic.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. It's hilarious. I guess they can't try to donkey punch me now.
And of course, it's true. And again, we're setting up Spider-Boy #1. Oh,
I'm gonna pick up #1, obviously, but if it's not good, I'm not giving it 3 issues.
Well, did you see? I think Spider-Man 11 is coming out this coming week, and I believe that's supposed to be the origin of Spider-Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It frees up Miles to do something different, at least. I feel like now the pressure's off Miles of being the youngest Spider person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of this in a positive way. I mean, Dan Slott hasn't offended me as much as Zeb will, so.
Yeah.
That's crazy to say.
I know. Oh, my Lord.
I just got a gray hair saying that out loud into the ether, honestly.
Exactly. And then we got Spider-Man, superhero groupie story, a Goose story.
It's a lot of
filler?
A lot of weird, yeah. Okay. I was going to say odd storytelling, but filler's fine.
And then we get a backup with Kraven and Queen Goblin that sets up the next amazing arc.
And maybe the movie that's not coming out.
So not only does it, I mean, we see on that one page how Kraven hunted the queen.
Mm-hmm. little spicy.
Mm-hmm. So that's setting that up. And then I guess we're going back to Spider-Man. We're doing a sequel to Spider-Man Reign.
Why? No offense, but like, why?
So you can make more spider radioactive semen jokes.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
Lilith's like, I'm okay.
Enough. I'm in, you son of a bitch. I'm in.
All right. So this will be a long episode.
You don't edit down.
That's all right. You know what? This is going to be the first one back. So people have been jonesing for Lilith Hellfire for a month. So you're welcome.
If you get tired, just let me know. I can edit it down.
I was going to say, wait a minute. Why are you talking to your boyfriends? If you get tired, I'll take over. Come on. Always on top, kids. All right.
So, I was going to say,
kids. She's always in the driver's seat, kids. That's why she's in so many wrecks. Hey-oh.
None of those have been my fault. None of them.
Oh no, okay. No, she was in E-Rex. Shuns.
There we go. Now those I will take credit for.
Wow.
Proudly take credit for those.
God. Lilith has erected more monuments than any construction business on the planet, kids. Now Justin can pick himself off of the floor. All right, so are we done here?
I think so.
Let's see.
Kids the homework.
Covered old stuff, crapped on new stuff, especially Wells. Yes. All right, mission accomplished. All right. So yes, kids, next time we are going to we're going to keep it going this month with the werewolves. So next time we'll do Spectacular Spider-Man 151 and 152 and Web of Spider-Man 53. Followed the week after by Spectacular Spider-Man 153 and Web of Spider-Man 54. And then we'll wrap it up with Spectacular Spider-Man 154 and Web 55. And then you would think the last episode of the month would be Scarlet Spider, but no, we're going to push that back another week because that's right, kids. This October, man, you're going to get a full month of Lilith Hellfire because the last week of October is just in time for the day before Halloween, episode 250. It's all going to be Norman, kids.
Norman.
Storm and Norman Osborn, kids.
Side whistle, please.
No, I didn't say Harry. I said Norman.
They're all Osborns, babe.
But well, come on. Some people like them.
My fetish is to get touched by a white man with cornrows.
Touche, good sir. Touche.
All right. So, yes. And then the first week of November, you'll get your Scarlet Spider episode, followed by our Hobgobble Gobble month because Mackindale's back into the top of the lineup, kids.
The Mac! Return of the Mac!
Gobble, gobble.
And again,
it's gobbling season very shortly, boys.
And again, if you can't get enough Mackindale here, Justin and I will be doing 2 episodes on Marvel Tales featuring Mackindale. So
I'm so sorry, Justin.
I
tried to spare you from it.
He was down for it. When I mentioned it, he's like, "Oh yeah, let's do his first appearance. Let's do this." Yes,
he's such a lovely soul. You gotta love Justin.
Hobgobble Gobble month is expanding, kids. So yes, one show can no longer contain Hobgobble Gobble month, kids. So in the words of a master.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That's right, Marvel Tales. One of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering his first appearance from Machine Man.
Oh wow!
Yeah, when he was Jack-O-Lantern.
Yeah, y'all are doing deep cuts over there,
bruh. So yes, kids, Mackindale's first appearance was not Spider-Man; it was Machine Man 19.
Where's Machine Man now, Phil?
In the scrapyard? I don't know. All right, so send us all the thoughts on all that good stuff. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, and the Patreon, where now every single part of Lilith Hellfire drunkenly taking apart Heroes Reborn is up. All 4 parts are there now, so. And more.
Which one do you think was the funniest? I think
I say we leave
I
it to our.
think the Avengers one was funny.
The Avengers one was funny. I know Justin really enjoyed our Captain America one. He
Not
said
that mention of titties will do that.
he said there are so many good jokes and comments in that thing. So we'll see it once everyone hears the Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, let's take a poll. Tell me which one was the funniest.
Hey, okay, boys. Lilith wants you to take a poll. So,
gotta stay on brand, boys. Gotta stay on brand.
Hey, yes, join our Patreon elite with Justin, Ray, Russell, and Moz Manzor. All right, so find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, newly returned Lilith Hellfire. Where can people find you on social media?
Oh, well, if you want to hang out on the interwebs with your favorite internet granny, you can find me on Facebook, Primmy, Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Threads and or Instagram at Internet Granny. That's GRANNIE. Come be a meta girly with me.
Do the 9.
That's
at least Mark Zuckerberg's American. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, burn!
Not to be xenophobic or anything, but Elon Musk is from South Africa, apartheid, got money from his emerald mines. I'm just kind of gonna dust my hands of that one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Sorry, boys.
All right, kids. So if you want to hear your granny say things like
Try to donkey punch me now, bitch.
Or
her whole family
granny.
What?
I'm a modern granny.
You're an internet granny.
I don't do Twinkies or toaster strudels, so
If you're really hankering for your granny to say,
I wonder if my wrist is ready for that.
follow Lilith Hellfire.
Somebody was trying to sneak it in.
It's
all rape and murder, I'll tell you that.
It's good to have you back. All right, kids. Come back next week. We'll talk some more werewolves. We'll poo-poo on some more modern stuff, I'm sure.
I don't think we poo-pooed on it too much.
The gang war is fast approaching. Well, we'll talk the old gang wars, the new gang war is fast approaching. But until then, swing on back.
Thwip it good.